Ellis had survived 3 galactic wars, countless skirmishes, and more near-death experiences than he cared to count. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared him for this moment. The throne room of the Velixian Empire stretched before him like a cathedral of crystalline light. Thousands of alien dignitaries from across the known galaxy filled the vast chamber, their varied forms creating a tapestry of colors and shapes that would have been beautiful if Ellis wasn't currently wishing the polished floor would swallow him. Holed out at the center of it all sat Princess Darky. She was small, even by Velixian standards, where other members of her species stood nearly 7 feet tall with luminescent skin that pulsed with confident energy. Darky barely reached 5 feet. Her pale lavender complexion flickered weakly, like a dying light bulb. She hunched in her throne as if trying to disappear into its ornate curves, her large violet eyes fixed firmly on the floor. The Velixian Empire was the most powerful civilization in 3 sectors. They had conquered worlds, bent entire species to their will, and their warriors were legendary. Yet here sat their crown princess, looking like she might faint at any moment. "The human delegation may approach," announced the Chancellor, his voice booming through the chamber. Ellis straightened his uniform and walked forward with the rest of his team. Humanity had only recently made contact with galactic society, and these diplomatic missions were crucial. Earth needed allies, resources, and above all, they needed to not screw this up. Ambassador Chen led their group, her diplomatic smile perfectly practiced. "Your Imperial Majesty, we come bearing." "Stop." The Emperor's voice cut through the formalities. His massive form radiated power, his skin blazing with golden light. "We did not summon you for pleasantries. My daughter requires a personal guard, a champion, someone to protect her from threats." Ellis caught the slight hesitation. The unspoken truth hung in the air. Princess Darky was considered weak, an embarrassment to the warrior empire. She needed protection not from external enemies, but from the contempt of her own people. "We have candidates from 17 species," the Emperor continued, "the strongest warriors in the galaxy. Princess, you must choose." The throne room fell silent. Darky's glow dimmed further. She gripped the armrests of her throne with trembling hands. Her eyes darted across the assembled warriors, massive Krellian battlelords, sleek Sindari assassins, armored Thexian juggernauts, each one a legend in their own right. Ellis felt a strange pang of sympathy. He knew what it was like to be underestimated, to be considered weak by those who didn't understand. Darky's voice was barely a whisper. The room leaned in collectively. "I cannot." "Speak up, daughter." The Emperor's frustration was evident. Darky flinched. Her glow flickered erratically. Then, in a moment that seemed to surprise even herself, she lifted one trembling hand and pointed directly at Ellis. "Him," she said, her voice still soft but clear. "I want him." The throne room erupted in chaos. "A human?" Someone scoffed. "They're barely space-worthy. They have no natural armor, no enhanced strength. This is an insult to the Empire." Ellis stood frozen, aware of thousands of eyes turning toward him. Ambassador Chen looked ready to have a diplomatic aneurysm. The Emperor raised a hand, and silence fell immediately. "Princess, humans are adequate for diplomacy, but they are notoriously fragile. They die from the simplest injuries. They require specific atmospheric conditions, constant sustenance, and their lifespans are laughably brief." "Are you certain?" Darky's glow steadied slightly. She met her father's gaze, and for the first time, Ellis saw a flicker of something else in her eyes: determination. "Yes," she said. "Humans are fragile. They break easily. They die from things that would not harm us." She paused, her voice growing stronger. "But they do not quit. I have studied them. They are persistent predators. They chase their prey until it collapses from exhaustion. They heal from wounds that would kill others. They adapt to environments that should destroy them. They refuse to surrender, even when they should." The room had gone completely silent. "They are weak," Darky continued, her glow beginning to pulse with genuine light. "Just like me. But weakness is not the absence of strength. It is strength that must be earned, fought for, held onto with bleeding hands. And no species in this galaxy fights harder for their strength than humans." She turned her full attention to Ellis, and he saw understanding in those violet eyes. She knew what it meant to be dismissed, underestimated, considered a liability, I want him. She repeated, because when the galaxy looks at humans, they see fragility. When they look at me, they see weakness. Let them look. We will show them what the weak can do. The Emperor studied his daughter for a long moment. Then, incredibly, he smiled. Very well. Human Ellis, do you accept this position? Ellis felt Ambassador Chen's warning glance, but he ignored it. He stepped forward and bowed. Your Highness, it would be my honor. As he raised his head, Darky met his eyes, and the smallest smile crossed her face. Over the following months, that smile would grow. Ellis would teach Darky human combat techniques, not the overwhelming power of Velixian warriors, but efficiency, persistence, and the art of turning weakness into advantage. She would teach him about Velixian culture, politics, and the subtle warfare of court intrigue. Together, the weakest princess and the fragile human would face assassination attempts, political schemes, and the contempt of an empire. They would fail more times than they succeeded. They would be bruised, broken, and exhausted, but they would never quit, because that's what humans did. And as Darky had learned, it's what the truly strong did too, regardless of what species they belonged to. In the end, the galaxy would learn the same lesson Darky had discovered. Never underestimate the weak. They have nothing left to lose and everything to prove, and that makes them the most dangerous of all.